Hello, welcome to this month's Back to the Basics. I'm Brandon Carpenter, Lieutenant at the Tallahassee Fire Department at Station 5, the ARF Rescue and Firefighting Station. Today we're going to talk about some aircraft rescue and firefighting subjects and try to get everybody more familiar with what their roles and responsibilities are when responding to the airport. All right, this information here is going to be more for the people responding from in-town, Station 3, Station 4, Station 1. When you guys get dispatched for Alert 2 or Alert 3, that's either going to come from dispatch, or your lieutenant may hear it if they're listening to the radio and self-dispatch. What we want you guys to do is come to gate 36 unless it's communicated that we want you to change staging locations. Could change to the parking lot of the old terminal, or if we're going near the FedEx ramp or to the terminal, it might be changed to somewhere over on that side, maybe gate 7. Get your crew ready, be in PPE, be ready to work. Please keep your radio communications to a minimum because R51's got a lot going on. They got a lot to listen to. And some tasks that you guys might be needing to do would be fire attack, search and rescue, water supply, and triage. To get some information about the alert going on, you can tune into Airport Operations Channel C9, but it is monitor only. Please do not transmit traffic on that channel. Crews assigned to water supply need to be aware that there are TFD thread hydrants on the airport property, so just be aware of that. Make sure you use the right adapters, and that way everybody stays safe. Keep in mind, if you need access to the north ramp or the north side of the airfield, that gate 30 and gate 28 are excellent options. This information is more for the ARF lieutenant and what your responsibilities are going to be when the red phone rings or you get notified of an alert. There are 3 alerts that we have. We have Alert 1, which is a standby, which is an aircraft inbound with a reported issue but no confirmed emergency. For that response, we stand by in station and notify dispatch. What you're going to need to do is first you're going to need to get pertinent information. You need to figure out, get from the ATCT, you get the type of aircraft. More important would be the souls on board, the fuel on board, the stated emergency, the runway they're landing on, and their ETA. After you get that information, you need to contact dispatch and declare an Alert 2 or an Alert 3. If it's Alert 2, you know the aircraft's en route with a possible emergency. Alert 3, of course, is aircraft on the ground. Once you start transmitted that information, you respond to emergency locations on the airfield. After you've talked to dispatch and got everybody en route, some information may change and you may need to tell dispatch that you need to change the staging location. Normal staging, you got everybody coming to gate 36, but if you need to change location to gate 28, which is up on the north ramp, or the FedEx facility, the cargo ramp, or the terminal ramp, notify dispatch, but then you also need to notify the comm center via the Air Ops channel, which is C9, because they need to redirect the escorts for the incoming units. If you need to change a staging location or an entry location, maybe to a gate that doesn't have an operator on it, we have these keys right here so you can open up any gate on the perimeter fence line. Remember, please don't have anybody ram the gates. Keep gate 7 in mind for easy access to the cargo ramp, or if you need to get a unit down on the terminal ramp if there's a fire in the terminal or something you need to have a unit down there for. Gate 7 also has a great parking space outside the gate, so if you need to stage, it'd be a great staging area. A few things I wanted to just wrap up, just some things that's good to know if you're on 51, just some helpful ideas. So remember, the comm center, you can treat them as dispatch. If you need them to do something or need to know some information, you can definitely have them do that. And to contact them, it's, like I said, Air Ops channel, which is C9. Another thing to remember is that you do have the keys in the door over here. If you need to open any door at the airport or any gate, those keys are very helpful. If fleet takes a unit out of service, you need to let the comm center know, because sometimes they'll have to issue a NOTAM, so that's important to know. Another thing is we have to have at least 2 units available to provide the level of protection for this airfield. So if you've only got 2 units and the comm center calls and wants you to respond to an EMS call at the terminal, we're really going to be out of index if we take a unit up there. So it's okay to deny them and say, sorry, we'll be out of index. You'll have to wait on the ambulance to arrive. Another thing is when you leave the station, if you got the units are going to take units out to train or go up to the terminal, you need to let the tower know. That way they know to dispatch you or contact you on the radio. What we usually do is contact the ground and say, our units are going to be out of the station. We'll be monitoring ground frequency and the Air Ops channel on 800 megahertz. You should also notify the comm center so they know to monitor ground. Another thing to think about is when you do have an incident going on and you got your crew performing a fire attack, is their visibility is going to be very limited with their streams, so you may be in a better position to tell them if they need to shoot longer, shorter, fog pattern, or more straight stream, and just kind of help them be their eyes and tell them what's going on. So be prepared to help your crew out. When you got an alert going on, there's a lot of different communications that need to happen. For example, how I like to have my setup is I've got the handheld portable on operations channel, which is C9. I've got my base station on TFD1 or the TAC channel dispatch assigned us. And then we'll have the base station on ground 121.9, and then I'll turn on my portable on tower, which is 1187. That way I can hear the pilot communicate to the tower directly and get all the information without having to ask the ground for it.
Hey everyone, this is Ryan. I'm just going to be doing a little review today and going over our headsets that we have in the trucks. As some of you know, there's been emails put out before about using them, how to store them, and I'm just going to go over a little bit of that. So the first thing to know about our headsets, obviously we should have about 4 sets per unit. Only one of them should transmit to dispatch. And obviously if you have all 4 and none of them do that, we'll cover that in a little bit. But first we're going to cover, got your headsets. As you guys know, on the headset we have your volume up, your volume down, your power button, your push to talk. And if you get a new headset after you wrote them up and you need to connect it, if you're not aware already, what you do is you press your power button and your push to talk button. So you will push those 2 together and it'll give you a headset's turned on, the battery level, and it'll tell you it's registering the base station. Once you go to do that, and it's registering, you go to your fire comm, which most units are in the middle between the officer and the engineer. On a lot of our newer units, this is where we'll find this located at. However, on our older units, you may find this fire comm connection on top of one of the medical compartments back where the firefighter is. You'll notice if it's connected already, the headsets, it'll be a solid orange light. When you want to pair a new one, just hold down the button of which connection you want to do, and it'll give you a nice slow blink. When you first turn the unit on, you may see that they just do a quick blink. That just means it already has a prior connection and it just hasn't had one connected to it yet. Last thing I want to add, when you're storing your headsets, try to store them with the webbing parts. I know it's tempting to use the rigid hard plastic, but if anything happens, it can break, it can snap. It's good to take care of these because then we can take care of our ears, and as we grow old, we'll be able to hear our kids. All right? So guys, be safe out there. Do what you gotta do. Take care of everything, all right?